Chapter 51, I did it. It's up to you. The house at home is big enough for you to live in. When this is over, you can pick out a house or a yard for yourself. Zhao Yunlong doesn't care about a house or a yard. I don't care how wronged Zhao Wei is. All he cares about is how much benefit the Zhao family can get from this matter. What? Fang Qingyan is still very afraid of her uncle. She sat in front of her uncle with her head slightly lowered. Zhao Yunlong looked at this niece, whom he hadn't seen for many years, and asked calmly, Fang Pingyan, is this year's top scorer in science? Yes, uncle. Fang Qingyan was stunned for a moment and immediately answered, and he is not in a key high school. Zhao Yunlong tapped the table lightly with his index finger. He didn't say anything else, his mind quickly thinking about how to use this matter. Fang Qingyan guessed what her uncle was thinking. If Fang Pingyan could catch the eye of his uncle, then returning to the Fang family, or even staying in the Zhao family, would also allow their family to be reunited. She had no doubt about this. Fang Pingyan hates Fang Hongzhen, his father. They, the women, just cared less about him. Mother Zhao Wei is just partial, and cares more about Hongzhen than Pingyan. Uncle, we didn't care enough about Pingyan before, and we were biased towards Hongzhen. This was our fault. As Pingyan's eldest sister, I have the greatest responsibility. Now he doesn't want to see any of us. Zhao Yunlong raised his hand. Fang Qingyan stopped what she was about to say and looked at him. There's no need to talk about this anymore. We will observe further when he arrives in the capital. As for the relationship between you, you still need to repair and make up for it by yourselves. I just told your mother that Qin Balian and her son went abroad and will never come back. I will transfer part of the shares of Fang family in Yuncheng to your mother as compensation. That's where the matter ends. I hope you can develop better in Yuncheng. Next year, the Zhao family will also enter Yun province, and there will be opportunities for cooperation then. Fang Qingyan had no choice but to nod. She also thought that this was probably the best possible outcome. As for whether their coming to the capital could bring greater benefits to the Zhao family, that was not something she could know. Tomorrow, your father and that illegitimate child should arrive in the capital. It's up to you to decide whether or not you want to meet at that time. That's it. Fang Qingyan still had a lot to say, but her uncle didn't want to listen. She had no choice but to leave. What? Mom, how was your visit to the Fang family's old house? What did your uncle tell you? Fang Jidi looked at Zhao Wei and asked. Nothing. Your father and his illegitimate son will arrive in the capital tomorrow. Just wait until tomorrow. Zhao Wei looked listless and didn't seem to want to talk much. When she went to Fang's house, she was full of resentment but had no chance to vent it. When she returned home, she was also disappointed with her eldest brother's attitude. Brother, I am thinking more about the interests of the Zhao family. This is nothing wrong. However, he didn't consider her feelings at all. Although she married into the Fang family, her surname is still Zhao, right? Zhao Dai, I know you and Fang Hongzhen are closest. This time, if you still don't acknowledge Pingyan as your brother, then just pretend that I don't exist as your mother. Zhao Wei stared at Fang Jidi with red eyes, which scared her. Don't worry, Mom, I won't do that anymore. Real, Fang Pingyan is my younger brother. Fang Hongzhen is just my half-brother. If we talk about closeness, Pingyan is closer anyway. Fang Jidi kept making assurances, but Zhao Wei could tell at a glance what she was thinking. Don't forget, he already knew that he was your half-brother. But he has kept silent for so many years, keeping us mother and daughter in the dark. Have pity on my peace. When I think about it now, I really want to kill Qin Balian and that bastard. Don't think I don't know what you think. Zhao Wei stared at her viciously, and Fang Jidi just felt that her mother was very scary now. Mom, I really don't want to lie to you. 18 years of relationship can just be thrown away. I really can't do it. She lowered her voice and muttered, You're so angry because Hongzhen is a bastard. Weren't you still biased towards Hongzhen at the beginning? I didn't think I did anything wrong. Anyway, no one in my family likes Fang Pingyan, so I just follow the crowd. Fang Pingyan himself didn't do well in the first place. He doesn't look like a member of the Fang family at all. Zhao Wei didn't get angry. She just waited quietly for Fang Jidi to finish speaking before she said coldly, You are right. In the past, I couldn't bear to part with that bastard. It was hard to give up a relationship that had lasted for more than 10 years. Because of this, I was reluctant to let him leave the Fang family, causing my own son to suffer a lot of grievances and injustice. It's all my fault. I am sorry for him. I admit it. And you. Fang Jidi didn't say anything. She took out her cell phone and played with it in her hand, hesitating whether to tell Fang Hongzhen. But she also knew that by now, Fang Hongzhen should have known it himself. My mother just said that she will come over tomorrow, so everyone should know about it. The only thing that is unclear is whether she can meet Fang Hongjun tomorrow. Fang Qingyan came out, and Zhao Wei and Fang Jidi both looked at her. It's okay. Fang Qingyan waved her hand and walked over to sit down. Mom, why don't we stay in a hotel? I always feel uncomfortable at my uncle's house. Fang Jidi nodded. Yes, 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 me too, I feel uncomfortable all over. Fang Pingyan, Chen Xiaohua, and Liu Qing only felt relaxed after they got into the car. Because Liu Qing was there, he couldn't say anything. Chen Xiaohua was driving, and Liu Qing sat beside him and kept comforting him. I was afraid that he would be frightened by this incident. I don't know who did it, but your father keeps saying it was you. This is the first time in my life that I have seen a father like this. Why are you still in contact with that kid from their family when you have nothing to do? Don't involve yourself next time. Those two men didn't look like good people, and I didn't know who beat them up. There's such a big bump on my head. My head is swollen. She grabbed Fang Pingyan and asked, Are you really okay that night? I haven't noticed you these past few days. I wonder if you had a fight with someone. Fang Pingyan glanced at Chen Xiaohua, who was driving seriously in front. It's okay, it's okay. I'm fine, Mom, really, I'm fine. It only takes half an hour to get home from the police station. This half hour was both painful and happy for him. What was uncomfortable was that Liu Qing showed an unparalleled desire to communicate, talking from the moment he got on the car to the moment he got off. The good thing is that Liu Qing was really afraid that he would be beaten that night. If she hadn't gone to bed earlier than Chen Xiaohua that night, she would probably have asked more questions. Chen Xiaohua drove silently all the time, and only let Liu Qing go upstairs when they got home. Go upstairs and cook first. I want to talk to Ping An. Liu Qing was unhappy. Is there anything I can't listen to? Fang Pingyan lowered his head and said nothing obediently. Chen Xiaohua smiled and said, Ping An is an adult now. I was talking to him about men's topics. Go back and cook. Remember to fry some peanuts for me. I want to have a drink with Ping An tonight. Liu Qing snorted. I know, go home quickly. Hey, got it. Ping An, come sit in the front. Liu Qing went upstairs, and Fang Pingyan also relaxed a little. Chen Xiaohua drove his car and started strolling on the street. You did this, didn't you? His tone was very calm, and he wasn't asking a question, just simply stating something. Fang Pingyan's heart suddenly skipped a beat. It was already past 11 when you called me to say you wouldn't be back. I don't know what happened that night, and I don't know whether it was right or wrong. I just want to say that you are already 18 years old. I'm going to Beijing to go to university soon. You still have a better life and future. Don't ruin your future because of a momentary impulse. The fact that you can get the top spot in the exam shows that your IQ is definitely sufficient. So I believe you should know what is the right thing to do. You should be able to make the best choice. But no matter which path you choose, your mother and I will not be able to accompany you all the way. If you can't protect yourself, how can we trust you? Fang Pingyan lowered his head, his heart beating like thunder. He didn't think Chen Xiaohua felt he was innocent, but he also had no evidence to prove his complete innocence. This is completely the intuition of Chen Xiaohua as an adult. No matter what grudges you have, it's best not to break the law, or you can avoid getting caught. Chen Xiaohua, who seemed to be talking to himself, finally looked at him. Fang Pingyan met his gaze without any fear or discomfort and looked at him calmly. Chen Xiaohua seemed to be stunned for a moment, then returned his eyes to the road and continued driving. I did it, Fang Pingyan spoke. Those two were hired by Fang Hongjun to kidnap me. They brought drugs. After I knocked him down, I found the drug. Fang Hongjun was knocked unconscious by me, and then I hit him a few times. He let out a long breath, as if he had let out all the depression in his chest. It's true that Fang Hongjun asked me out. There are phone records and the police can check it. I also sent that text message to Fang Hongjun using their mobile phone. He spoke at a steady pace, as if he was narrating a trivial matter that had nothing to do with him. Fang Hongjun is Fang Junhong's illegitimate son, and they both know about it. But Fang Hongjun knew that he was an illegitimate child and hid it from my mother for 18 years. And he asked someone to kidnap me, obviously wanting me to die. I threw a few bricks at him, which was not excessive. Besides, he's not dead. Chen Xiaohua drove silently without saying a word. Fang Pingyan continued. Now that my mother Zhao Wei knows about it, I guess Fang Junhong doesn't have much time to cause trouble for me. After I finished learning how to drive, I went to Beijing. By then, he will be unable to protect himself, and Fang Hongjun will most likely go abroad with his mother. At least for a short time I am safe. Chen Xiaohua suddenly laughed. He turned his head and glanced at Fang Pingyan. Very good. Just admit that you did it. Although I am not clear about the details, this should be your first time in a police station. It's not bad that the police finally decided that there was insufficient evidence and released you. Chapter 52 then, am I okay? Fang Pingyan was stunned. No, I'm just here to assist in the investigation. But they still think I am a major suspect. I will let them know when I go to Beijing for school. Chen Xiaohua laughed. Don't be nervous. The matter was finally left unresolved. The police merely responded to the call and did not file a case. I asked about it when you were in there, only because all three of them were beaten and were in the hospital. You went to the police station because your biological father thought you were the murderer, so they asked you to cooperate with the investigation. But that doesn't mean you are a suspect, understand? If you were really considered a suspect, there would be no way you would come back with me and your mother. Fang Pingyan's eyes lit up and he said, Then I'm fine, right? Chen Xiaohua nodded. If the news of Fang Junhong's illegitimate child came out, I guess your biological mother would not live with him, but she wouldn't divorce him either. Because divorce is not a good thing for either family. So the illegitimate child must have gone abroad with his mother. Then it was like it never happened. Life goes on as usual, but you still have to be careful. If you beat someone up, even if the police think it wasn't you, sometimes some people think it was you and they don't need any evidence at all. As long as they believe that you did it, they will try every possible means to deal with you. So you should be in more danger now than before. Take care of yourself and don't go out unless necessary. Fang Pingyan hummed and said no more. He knew that he lacked experience, but he didn't know why Chen Xiaohua looked so experienced. But it's not easy to ask. In the past few days, whenever he had free time, he kept reviewing every detail of that night. Fortunately, he doesn't have to worry about the bricks or the shoulder bag now. Although that kind of trash can is big, there is more trash in the bar, so it will be cleaned once every 2 days at most. So the satchel has disappeared into some landfill or power plant. He himself couldn't even remember which neighborhood he was in when he saw the clothes and shoes. Even if they investigate, it will be meaningless unless the police confirm that he is the real murderer. Once we came out of the alley, he would definitely be visible on the surveillance cameras on the street. He couldn't explain clearly what he was doing in the short 10 minutes before he came. This is his only suspicion. However, he still didn't know whether the police had filed a case. Since Dad said the police haven't filed a case, then there isn't one. There's no need to lie to him. Only then did he feel at peace. But he also knew that even without any evidence, Fang Hongzhen would still believe that he did it. Therefore, even if Fang Hongzhen went abroad, that kid would never let him go. It doesn't matter. He will be more careful. Tomorrow, I will sign up for a Sanda training class, and I will continue practicing when I get to Beijing. Chen Xiaohua saw him with his head down in deep thought and did not disturb him. He took him home after a walk. Chen Xiaohui didn't know anything about this at all. After coming back from school, she was chattering as usual, and the whole house was filled with her voice. While he was having dinner with his family, Fang Jinglei was sitting alone in the Western restaurant on the second floor of the Kempinski, eating alone. In a few days, she had obviously lost a lot of weight. She didn't know about the progress in the capital, nor did she know that Fang Hongzhen had been beaten. Just after dinner, when she returned to her room to read a novel, she received a call from her elder sister, Fang Qingyan. Lele, have you gone home yet? No, I'm still staying in the Kempinski Hotel. I just returned to my room after dinner. When Fang Qingyan heard that she had not returned home yet, she briefly told her about the situation in Beijing, and also said that her father Fang Junhong would take Fang Hongzhen to the Fang family's old house in Beijing tomorrow. Then, together with the person in charge of the Fang family in Beijing, they visited their uncle. I even told her what the final result would be. After Fang Jinglei finished listening, she asked, "How is Mom now?" "Mom is much better now. This matter is no longer under my control. You also know that when something like this happens between two families, it is nothing more than an exchange of interests. The result is just as I told you. I heard from my mother that this is roughly what my uncle meant. But we still have to see how our dad and his friends talk to our uncle when they arrive tomorrow." Fang Jinglei thought for a moment. Is Mom planning to stay in Beijing? She will definitely go to Beijing before school starts safely. Fang Qingyan smiled and said, "Yes, Mom will definitely not go back to Yuncheng. Even if I go back, I should pack my luggage. My third sister and I will not be involved in those things tomorrow. We plan to return to Yuncheng tomorrow. Can you come pick us up?" Fang Jinglei responded, Okay, I'll pick you up tomorrow, just send me the flight information. After hanging up the phone, Fang Jinglei felt the urge to go find Fang Ping'an, but she would rather go find him after knowing the specific results, so that she can get closer to Fang Ping'an. At least we have the opportunity to meet and talk. As long as she could ease the relationship with Fang Ping'an, she didn't mind visiting him every day. Fang Hongjian is really a person with deep thoughts. Even more hateful is his own father, Fang Junheng. She still couldn't understand why her father could do such a thing. Everything must be justified, especially for a wealthy family like theirs. How could the right of inheritance be achieved by excluding their own sons? Unless they kill Fang Ping'an directly, this matter cannot be justified in any way. Besides, Fang Ping'an is not a waste. He is the top scholar in Yun Province. If he can get such high scores in an ordinary middle school like number 38 middle school, doesn't that prove his excellence? You are already in your 50s. Do you still care so much about your childhood sweetheart? As the head of the Fang family in Yuncheng, shouldn't you focus all your energy on your career? She had been thinking about it for days, but still couldn't understand it. As for Fang Hongjian, her opinion of him has completely changed since she found out that Fang Hongjian understood her life experience. This is a very scary person. Thinking back on the past decade or so, every detail made her shudder. Regardless of whether he was taught by his father or not, at least while he was enjoying the doting of his mother and a few others, he was discussing with his biological mother and father how to force Fang Ping'an to death. If Fang Ping'an hadn't suddenly exploded and severed ties with the Fang family, he would have faced even more severe suppression in the future. This is not something an ordinary child could come up with, but his father supports him so much. She now hated her past self even more, and even hated her elder sister Fang Qingyan and third sister Fang Zhidi. She hated Fang Zhidi's mindless rage, which was all directed at Fang Ping'an. She hated her elder sister for setting a very bad example as one of the pillars of the family. He is the president of Fang Group, but he listens to Fang Hongjian when it comes to family matters. I have no opinion of my own. I have read so many novels and I am a screenwriter, but I have ignored so many details. She regretted it to death. Tomorrow, no, now I will go find Fang Ping'an. Can't wait any longer. No matter what the outcome in the capital is tomorrow or the day after tomorrow, I will go to see Ping'an. Chapter 53, We Are Also Victims. It was Liu Qing who opened the door. Looking at the beautiful woman standing outside the door, she recognized her immediately. This is the woman who came to the store a while ago and said she was Ping An's second sister. Ping An, someone is looking for you. Without waiting for Fang Jinglei to speak, she turned around and shouted, then turned back to Fang Jinglei and said, "Please come in." After saying that, he moved aside. Fang Jinglei quickly said, "No, Auntie, I won't go in. I want to talk to Ping'an about something important. Can you tell him we can talk outside?" Fang Ping'an walked out of the room wearing a pair of large shorts and a round-necked sweatshirt. When he saw it was her, his face immediately fell. "Second Miss Fang, are you going to force me to move?" Fang Jinglei looked embarrassed, which made Liu Qing slap Fang Ping'an lightly. "How do you talk like that? You have no manners at all. Miss Fang, please come in and talk." Fang Jinglei blushed and said, No, thank you. I still want to ask Ping'an to come out and talk to him." She bowed slightly to Liu Qing in gratitude, and the other party said safely, "Ping'an, I have no other way to contact you. It's not that I want to disturb you and your uncle and aunt." As they were talking, Chen Xiuhui came out of the room to watch the fun. She was also wearing a pair of large shorts, the same round-necked sweatshirt, and holding a pen in her hand. I guess he was doing his homework and ran out when he heard the noise outside. After seeing Fang Jinglei, the little girl opened her eyes wide. "What a beautiful sister." Fang Ping'an looked back at her and scolded, "Go do your homework." Chen Xiuhui made a face at him and turned back. Chen Xiahua just stood up from the sofa without saying a word. Fang Ping'an once told him everything he had experienced in the Fang family. Standing at the door of her house was the second daughter of the Fang family. Fang Ping'an said coldly, "Don't come in. I'll just grab my phone and come out." He turned around and went back into the house to get his cell phone. Fang Jinglei smiled apologetically at Liu Qing and Chen Xiahua, took 2 steps back and stood outside the door. She couldn't help smiling bitterly in her heart. Once upon a time, her attitude towards the other party's safety was much worse than her current experience. She had never even been to Fang Ping'an's room. The Fang family never allowed Fang Ping'an to step onto the second floor of the Fang family villa. In the Fang family, he lived with servants and even felt a little inadequate. My father said that he wanted to temper him and polish away all the petty bourgeois flavor and habits in him. After hearing what she said, Liu Qing didn't feel comfortable inviting her in and could only stand at the door and wait. Soon, Fang Ping'an came out. After changing a pair of shoes, he turned around and said to Liu Qing and Chen Xiaohua, "Dad, Mom, I'm going to be out for a while and will be back soon." Fang Jinglei listened to him calling Dad and Mom easily and naturally, and the bitterness in her heart almost made her unable to hold back her tears. "It turns out that you don't want us anymore. He found another set of parents and doesn't want us anymore. He doesn't want either brothers or sisters or parents. That little girl must be his adoptive father's daughter. Such a cute and playful girl, Ping'an must love her very much." Watching their communication, it was so natural. How enviable. After Fang Ping'an went out, he closed the door and turned to go down the stairs. Fang Jinglei followed silently. After leaving the unit, Fang Ping'an turned around and asked, "Miss Fang, this is the last time. If you come and harass my family again, I will call the police." Fang Jinglei held back her tears and lowered her head and said, "I came here to tell you that Mom and elder sister went to the capital, and now the Zhao family has been to the Fang family. Dad will take Fang Hongjian to Zhao's house tomorrow." Fang Ping'an had a blank expression on his face and said nothing after hearing this. Fang Jinglei was happy to see that he didn't get angry because of the address and continued, "My eldest sister called me just now and said that the best outcome would be for Fang Hongjian to go abroad with his mother, and the rest would be to give some compensation to Mom. She also knew that this would probably be the result." Fang Ping'an asked calmly, "Does it have anything to do with me? Aren't you going to the capital to study? Mom is not going back to Yuncheng. She said she would stay with you in the capital and take care of your daily life." Fang Ping'an sneered and said, "Is that all? If you have nothing else, go back. I have no interest in the infighting within your Fang family. I really don't know what you were thinking. Do you think I would be happy? Or do you think I will return to the Fang family because of this? Do you think I've been kidding you guys?" Fang Jinglei waved her hands in panic and explained, "No, it's not Ping'an. That's not what I meant. I just want to thank you for telling me about Fang Hongjian's background. If it weren't for you, we would continue to be kept in the dark by him and Dad. Mom and elder sister also asked me to thank you." Actually not. Neither Zhao Wei nor Fang Qingyan said such a thing. Even Fang Jinglei herself hadn't thought of this sentence a few seconds ago. The sudden inspiration made her speak it out, as an effort to help ease the relationship between them and Fang Ping'an. But Fang Ping'an's next words made her feel cold all over again. "Don't thank me. I just want to make fun of your Fang family. Since you chose him that night, you brought all of this upon yourselves. I have 2 words for you and your whole family. You deserve it." Fang Ping'an said this with a smile, and then looked up at the lights in his home. "It's all right, I'm going home." He turned around and was about to enter the unit. When Fang Jinglei heard those 2 words, she finally cried, "Ping'an, are you really so cruel? Mom, like the rest of us, was kept in the dark by Dad and Fang Hongjian for 18 years. Is all this our fault? We are victims too, just like you." The voice was a little high with a crying tone. Fang Ping'an stopped and walked several steps to the side. "From a certain perspective, you are also victims, and that makes sense. However, the ones who made you suffer are your father and Fang Hongjian. And the one who harmed me was your entire family, including your mother, your sister, your younger sister, and you. And I admitted it. I'm a victim, can't I just admit it? Since I can't warm your hearts with all the methods I've tried, can't I just give up? I just started living a peaceful life, and you came to my house to harass me. What do you want from me? Will you be punished for sharing with me your biological father and his illegitimate child? I don't think so. You seem to be asking for credit from me. You want to express your gratitude and want me to empathize with Fang Hongjian like you do. Feel sorry. I can't do it. You and I are no longer family. I'm going home. Miss Fang, please go back and don't come here again. Next time I come here, I will call the police directly." Ignoring Fang Jinglei's tears and sobs, he turned and walked into the unit door, then turned around and said, "Fang Hongjian is in the hospital and will not go to the capital. If you want to visit him, just go directly to the hospital. Ask your father which hospital it is." Fang Ping'an couldn't help but feel happy when he went up the stairs. This news should be enough for you to dig out more inside information. Unless you are really stupid. He. Chapter 54. My brother must have been very sad at that time. "Gone?" Chen Xiaohua asked, as he looked at Fang Ping'an, who was changing his shoes. What do you want to see me about?" Fang Ping'an suddenly laughed. He walked to the sofa and sat down. telling her how the Fang sisters had found out about Fang Hongzhen's background and how they had gone to the capital to look for the Fang family's old house. Liu Qing and Chen Xiaohua were both shocked after hearing this. After a long while, Liu Qing finally asked, "They should be regretting it now, Ping An. Do you want to forgive them?" Fang Pingan put away the smile on his face, thought for a moment, and then said, "We have severed our relationship. There is no question of forgiveness or not. Just a stranger. What does it have to do with me?" Liu Qing looked back at Chen Xiaohua, and seeing him shaking his head slightly, he stopped talking and stood up to pour Fang Pingan a glass of water. "Pingan, don't you give them a chance to repent?" Chen Xiaohua asked. Fang Pingan shook his head. "No. If they repented after discovering Fang Hongzhen's background, I have no reason to forgive them. If they really cared about me, they should have said sorry the night I left the Fang family. Unfortunately, when I asked their family to choose between me and Fang Hongzhen that night, they all chose Fang Hongzhen. So everything that is happening now is their own fault. I can endure the pain of being abandoned by my blood relatives. So why should I forgive them and let them have a younger brother again?" "Why?" Chen Xiuhui suddenly opened her door and said loudly. "That's right, why? My brother must have been very sad at that time. He had nowhere else to go, so he came to our house." Her shout actually scared Liu Qing. "You damn girl, you scared me." Liu Qing scolded, "Go back and do your homework. I'll see how high your score will be in the final exam next week." Neither Chen Xiaohua nor Fang Pingan said anything. The girl has good grades, and the whole family knows it, so Fang Pingan doesn't care about her. Only Liu Qing paid close attention to her performance. Chen Xiuhui waved her fist vigorously. "I've finished writing. I'll definitely pass the final exam." Then she ran over and sat next to Fang Pingan. "Brother, this kind of person should not be forgiven. Like you said, they deserve it. You are my family now. Please don't be soft-hearted, or I will be without a brother again." Chen Xiaohua shouted, "Hui, stop talking nonsense." Chen Xiuhui shrank her neck and said nothing. Fang Pingan reached out and rubbed the top of her head. "No, you're my sister. Even if the king comes, I'm still your brother." "I said so." Chen Xiuhui hugged his arm and laughed. "Come on, I'll take you out to eat crayfish." Fang Pingan was in a good mood and said proudly. Before Chen Xiaohua could even open his mouth, Liu Qing said, "That thing is unhygienic. It has a lot of bacteria and parasites." Chen Xiuhui shouted, "Oh my God, they have all been sterilized and disinfected with high temperatures. So many people are fine after eating it. Am I the only one who will get sick after eating it? Besides, I don't eat much. I can only eat it once in a while." Chen Xiaohua smiled and said, "Go ahead, come back early. Don't drink." Fang Jinglei returned to the hotel in tears. After resting for a while, she took a shower and changed her clothes. She heard from Fang Pingan that Fang Hongzhen was hospitalized. Instinctively, she believed what Fang Pingan said. "I took out my cell phone to call Fang Junheng, but it was turned off. Maybe he is on the plane now." After thinking about it, she called Fang Qingyan and told her about it. Fang Qingyan didn't know what was going on, so she started calling Yun Cheng. By the time things were sorted out, it was almost 11 o'clock. However, Fang Qingyan was very happy to tell the news to Zhao Wei and Fang Zhidi, and then called Fang Jinglei. Fang Jinglei only became frightened when she heard that Fang Pingan might be the murderer. In her eyes, it was not that Fang Pingan was so powerful, but she was afraid of Fang Hongzhen, her 18-year-old half-brother. Fang Hongzhen really wanted someone to attack Ping An. Although she didn't quite believe that Fang Pingan had done it, at least it seemed that Pingan was not in danger now, so she was thankful. As for whether Fang Pingan is the murderer, it doesn't matter to her. Once upon a time, she never doubted Fang Hongzhen, and all the mistakes were Fang Pingan's fault. She herself didn't even notice this psychological change. Fang Junheng took a nearly 4-hour flight to Beijing. He wasn't angry when he found no one was there to pick him up after leaving the arrival hall. He knew exactly what kind of person his elder brother Fang Junyi was. If it weren't for his eldest brother, he wouldn't have been forced to leave the capital and finally choose Yun Cheng to develop. This dear eldest brother has never been soft-hearted towards his younger siblings. Since he was asked to come to the capital, it goes without saying that the eldest brother has already obtained all the evidence. "I just don't know what the price will be this time." He got a headache when he thought of his son, who was still in the hospital bed. He knew about this. It was Fang Hongzhen who told him that he wanted to mess with Fang Pingan, and the contact information was given to him by another third-generation rich man. Otherwise, where could Fang Hongzhen, a high school student, find such a scoundrel who dared to actually do it? It's not that he didn't have the resources in this area, but he instinctively didn't provide them to Fang Hongjun. However, even though he knew Fang Hongjun would attack his other son, he did not stop him. Fang Hongjun's idea was to let Fang Ping'an get slightly injured, and at most he would have to lie in the hospital and miss the start of university. As long as Fang Ping'an cannot go to college, he will have to wait another year. So when he came back from studying abroad, Fang Ping'an had not yet graduated. The starting points of the two will widen the gap. Even when their identities are revealed in the future, the old Fang family in Beijing will surely stand on his side. After all, one is a potential stock, and the other has already made real contributions to the family. Fang Junhong didn't want to kill Fang Ping'an. He never thought about it. He just did it because Zhao Wei didn't like Fang Ping'an. Ever since Fang Ping'an returned home, he disliked her even more because of her weak and fawning appearance, and her trying hardest to show off. He didn't like it in any way, because no matter what he did, he could not make the other party feel safe and develop the so-called father-son relationship. He had been away from me since I was a child, and when he came back, I was already a 14-year-old junior high school student. Not only does his living habits not fit in with the Fang family, he also shows no confidence at all. How can someone like that become the heir of the Fang family? It's not even worth cultivating. Not only he felt this way, but the whole family felt this way. So no matter which child bullied Fang Ping'an, he turned a blind eye. Just treat it as a test for the other party's safety. Even a tiger won't eat its own cubs. This is human nature. He never thought of letting Fang Ping'an die. But he didn't know whether Fang Hongjun thought so. What he didn't expect was that Fang Ping'an was fine, but Hongjun was given a concussion and almost died. As for the other two guys, no matter what the final outcome is, as long as Hongjun goes abroad, the police will be unable to do anything to him. So this matter didn't have much impact on Hongjun. But judging from the results, this matter was obviously aimed at the son. There couldn't be anyone else except Fang Ping'an. How could this be the result? But no one knows who revealed Hongjun's background, which means that Alien's identity has also been leaked. It really is like when it rains, it pours. The airport was so crowded that Fang Junhong, with a gloomy face, queued for a taxi and headed straight for the hotel near the Fang family's old house. He didn't want to face his elder brother, that old fox, tonight. He thought about several possibilities on the plane. I was also prepared to be bitten hard by the big brother. Everything is about profit. He had given up on brotherly love 20 years ago. Chapter 55, Fang Junyi. Brother, I'm in Beijing. Fang Junhong called Fang Junyi in the car. Hongjun was in the hospital, and I didn't bring him with me. I'm very tired these past few days. I won't go to the old house tonight. I'll stay in a hotel first. Fang Junyi didn't say anything on the phone. Things still need to be discussed face to face. There is no point in talking on the phone. Is Fang Hongjun sick? He asked simply. Well, Fang Junhong didn't want to explain too much. He was beaten and there is some bruise on his head. I will take him abroad for treatment in a few days. Fang Junyi didn't expect it to be so serious. Okay, come over tomorrow morning and have breakfast together. After hanging up the phone, Fang Junhong silently found a hotel close to the Fang family's old house and checked in. After taking a shower, he called Qin Balian. Alien, how is Hongjun now? Qin Balian has been in tears these days, eating and sleeping in the hospital ward. She doesn't want to leave her son for even a minute. I just came out of the hyperbaric oxygen chamber. Qin Balian spoke with a strong nasal tone. Fang Ping'an, that bastard, I will not let him go. My Hongjun, now he can't even call me mommy. Woo. Fang Junhong just felt overwhelmed. Okay, stop crying. I didn't tell you before I left, but the reason I came to Beijing this time is because Zhao Wei already knows Hongjun's identity, and she also knows about your existence. I don't know what evidence they have now, but the matter has already been reported to my eldest brother. It was my elder brother who asked me to come here. Qin Balian stopped crying immediately and asked nervously, how did that bitch know? Junhong, what should we do? Fang Junhong sighed. It's okay, I just want to tell you in advance. You know my eldest brother's temper. This time I'm afraid I'll be hurt. Qin Balian thought of the equally handsome and cold-faced young man from more than 20 years ago. All she could think of was that pair of cold and sharp eyes, as if they could see through all her disguises at a glance. Brother, what will your brother do? Me, Junhong, what is he going to do with me? Suddenly she started crying again. It's all your fault, it's all your fault. If you had been able to withstand the pressure from your family back then, I wouldn't have had to follow you without any status for so many years. And now Hongjun has become like this. Woo. Fang Junhong, you are such a heartless person. For you to carry on the family line, I had so many miscarriages and still risked my life to give birth to Hongjun for you. Enough, Fang Junhong shouted in a low voice, scaring Qin Balian. You should be very clear about what happened back then. Your Qin family has already been defeated. Don't you know who my father and brother are? If I leave the Fang family, I am not afraid of hardship. Can you do it, my eldest daughter of the Qin family? Can you come with me to set up a stall or to farm with me? If you hadn't married Zhao Wei, would you be living the life you have today? Without the support of the Zhao family, would my father agree to invest in us? If I had taken you away back then, do you know how many years it would take to reach the heights we are at now? I tell you, think clearly about who is supporting you. Have you earned a penny in all these years? Fang Junhong's voice involuntarily became much louder. If I hadn't taken the initiative to admit defeat and give up the position of successor to the head of the family, would I be alive today? I'm afraid he has been sealed off at some construction site for a long time. I am not afraid to tell you that Hongjun was beaten like this because of Fang Pingan. If Hongjun hadn't had the idea of killing Fang Pingan, the current result wouldn't have happened. Those two people brought drugs with them. Wasn't it your good son who ordered them to kidnap Ping An? Do you think Fang Pingan would have a good ending if they really succeeded? Do you really think your son is a good person? On weekdays, I don't pay much attention to him and let Zhao Wei take care of him. I wonder if his current temper is due to the idea of killing my other son that you instilled in him. Qin Balian was so frightened by his roar that she dared not say a word. Fang Junhong lowered his voice again and said, Alien, if I didn't really love you, would I have stayed with you all these years? With my wealth, can't I find him 10 or 8 college students aged 18 or 20? But have you ever seen me being unfaithful over the years? Apart from Zhao Wei, I only have you and my son. You take good care of Hongjun. I am in Beijing, and not only do I have to face my eldest brother, but I also have to face Zhao Wei and her brother Zhao Yuanlong, that old fox. I'm under a lot of pressure, really a lot. Qin Balian responded with a crying voice. Junhong, please stop talking. I know you're good to me, but Hongjun is like this now, and you are not around. I really don't know what to do. Don't be angry with me. I was confused and just said nonsense. Don't take it to heart. Fang Junhong said a few words of comfort and then hung up the phone. The night in the capital is very prosperous. The glamour and feasting are meaningless to someone like him. He was thinking all the way about the acceptable outcome, but the decision-making power is not in his hands at all. Unless the strength of the Fang family in Yuncheng exceeds that of his own family, he will always be an expendable pawn. This is also why he has no scandals other than Qin Balian. He puts all his energy into his work. The purpose is to break away from the status of chess piece and become the person playing chess during one's lifetime. The next morning, Fang Junhong got up early, washed up, and took a taxi directly to the Fang family's old house. The so-called old house is actually a courtyard with 5 entrances. The value of this house alone is over 500 million yuan, not to mention the other wealth accumulated by 4 generations of the Fang family. Most of the heads of wealthy families in Beijing live in courtyard houses, as if this is the only way to highlight their status and low-key luxury. Fang Junyi was sitting on the sofa holding a teapot. When he saw him come in, he stood up and looked him up and down. Let's go to the study and talk. He first walked towards his study. Fang Junhong followed him into the study without saying a word. This study used to be my father Fang Zhehan's study, and the furnishings inside have not changed at all. The eldest brother not only inherited the Fang family, but also perfectly inherited the Fang family's old-fashioned, cold and profit-seeking character. Back then, if he hadn't been so reluctant to part with Qin Balian, this study would most likely have belonged to him. Fang Junhong believes that his business abilities are not inferior to his elder brother. But because of the Qin Balian incident, his father Fang Zhehan thought that he was too sentimental and was not suitable to be the head of the Fang family. So he drove him out of the capital to expand the territory for the Fang family. The condition is that when his contribution to the family reaches a certain level, he can set up his own business. This is also the most fundamental reason why Fang Junhong works so hard. He never told anyone about this condition. The only ones who knew about it were my grandfather, father, and eldest brother. As for my 3rd brother and 4th sister, one is an official in the Beijing public security system, and the other is married to a soldier and now holds an important position in a certain military unit. It can be said that the development of every child in the Fang family is quite good. Looking at the painting, Still Waters Run Deep, he couldn't help but look at it a few more times. After the two of them sat down, the butler brought in some tea and then left. At this point, there were only two brothers in the study. "Brother, this matter is my fault." Fang Junyi held the teapot and took a sip, but he didn't open his mouth. Seeing that his elder brother didn't say anything, Fang Junhong could only admit his mistake first. Second brother, Fang Junyi, did not lose his temper. On the contrary, he acted very calmly. "What's wrong with Fang Hongjun?" Fang Junhong immediately changed the subject and said, "Hongjun was beaten up and suffered a concussion and cerebral hemorrhage. He is now receiving treatment in Yuncheng. When I get back, I will take him abroad for surgery. He will start school in September and can't be delayed." Chapter 56, Conditions. Fang Junyi gently placed the teapot on the priceless Huang Huali desk. "Yesterday, Zhao Yunlong brought Zhao Wei here. Not only did he tell me, but he also took out the paternity test report between you and Fang Hongjun. In addition, there are photos and recordings of you and Fang Hongjun meeting Qin Balian. Now Zhao Yunlong asked me to give an explanation to the Zhao family. What do you think I should give him?" Fang Junyi didn't respond to his words at all and went straight to the point. He had no intention of reminiscing about the past, let alone giving him much face. Fang Junhong smiled and said, "I will bear the losses of the family. The rest are my family affairs, and I can handle them myself. I will try my best to satisfy the Zhao family." What he meant was clearly that no matter how much the Fang family gave up to the Zhao family, he would make up for it. But brother, don't ask for too much. According to his estimation, at most the Fang family would give the Zhao family some benefits in commercial projects, or make certain concessions in projects in other places. The overall value will not exceed 300 million yuan, and may even be solved with 200 million yuan, because having illegitimate children is not a big deal in the mansions of wealthy families. What needs to be compensated is actually that he made Zhao Wei raise his illegitimate child for 18 years, which in itself is equivalent to a humiliation to the Zhao family. Whether it is compensation or concessions, they are all directed at the Zhao family. As for Zhao Wei, she has no say in this matter at all. When we return to Yuncheng, won't we have the final say? Fang Junyi hesitated for a while before saying, "Okay, but are you sure you can satisfy the Zhao family's conditions? There is also the issue of the Fang family's reputation. How much are you going to give up?" Fang Junhong was shocked. "Brother, what you mean is..." Fang Junyi picked up the teapot and took a sip, then said as a matter of course, "You gave birth to a bastard, which in itself is nothing. At most, it's your family affair. Even if the truth were revealed, the Zhao family wouldn't come and cause trouble. But you deliberately brought the illegitimate child home and let Zhao Wei raise him until now. For the Zhao family, this is unacceptable. Moreover, Fang Hongjun himself knows that you are his biological father. You went to see Qin Balian with him, which can only mean that the three of you had agreed to deceive Zhao Wei for 18 years. It is also equivalent to deceiving the Zhao family for 18 years. But you let Zhao Wei get the evidence. Well, what the Zhao family wants is an explanation for this matter, not an explanation for the fact that you have an illegitimate child. I think you should be aware of this. In other words, when the two families got married, you deceived the Zhao family and even your father. For the Zhao family, it was the Fang family who deceived them." Fang Junhong was silent. Fang Junyi is right. No matter who comes to power, they will at least say this, and there is no way to get around it. Back then, my father didn't agree with you and Qin Balian, but did you have the courage to leave the Fang family and agree to marry into the Zhao family? Later, you will be together with Qin Balian. Now I have to bear the consequences on behalf of the Fang family. Tell me, why should I bear the consequences and infamy for you?" Fang Junhong closed his eyes and took a few deep breaths. "I will be here for 3 days at most, and then I will go back to take Hongjun abroad for treatment. Just tell me how much you want. I will agree to anything I can agree to. If you can't do it, just ask Zhao Yunlong and Zhao Wei to come to me." Fang Junyi seemed to have no reaction to his anger, and his tone remained calm. "When your father asked you to go to Yuncheng to develop, his original intention was to let you expand the territory for the family. Your family holds 15% of the shares, and the Zhao family holds 18%. You have to give up another 5%, 3% of which will be given to me, and the remaining 2% will be given to the Zhao family. As for Zhao Wei, her family will compensate the Zhao family. Qin Balian and Fang Hongjun should go abroad and never come back. And Fang Hongjun cannot inherit the family property. Publicly disclose Fang Pingan's identity as the heir. That's all I can think of. If you agree, I will take you to the Zhao family after dinner to talk it out in person. We'll see how much we can get then. If not, I don't care. The Fang family has withdrawn their investment, and your request to start your own business has also become invalid. From now on, you have no relationship with the Fang family. I will announce this news publicly. I will not get involved in the life and death of Qin Balian and Fang Hongjun. I will just pretend that these two people never existed. Fang Junhong stood up and said angrily, "What do you mean?" Fang Junyi grinned, but there was no trace of smile in his eyes. "That's what it means. I believe I made myself clear." The fear in Fang Junhong's heart slowly rose. He doesn't believe it. He didn't believe that the Zhao family would dare to take action against a lion and Hong Jun. 5%, that is close to 1 billion in market value, and it is a permanent loss of 5%. If the investment is withdrawn, it will be close to 1/3 of the Yuncheng Fang Group. If the shares are given to other people, then, taking into account the circulating market value in the secondary market, he will lose his voice. The results of nearly 30 years of hard work are now being given away. He couldn't accept such a loss. How can this be considered a serious injury? It's clearly beheading and breaking the waist. 3% is to satisfy the Zhao family. Designating Fang Pinggan as the heir was to satisfy Zhao Wei. That 2% is to satisfy your own selfish desires, brother. Fang Junhong let out a long breath. Although the scale of Yuncheng's company cannot be compared with that of the Fang and Zhao families. But it took me nearly 30 years to accomplish this. 5% is too much. I only agree to give you 3% to split with the Zhao family. A lion and Hong Jun were planning to go abroad anyway, so that was no problem. But the matter of designating an heir has nothing to do with you. It is my private matter. Who will inherit the Fang family of Yuncheng in the future depends on their own abilities. Brother, you'd better stop worrying about this. I believe that the Zhao family won't mind either. At least until now, I have never been short of dividends from both of your families. That's all I can agree to. If it works, it works. If not, the Zhao family doesn't need to go. I will return to Yuncheng immediately and wait for you to withdraw your investment. He knew very well that there was only one chance to bargain, both for him and his elder brother. In one round, show your fangs and bottom line directly, otherwise it will be even worse. To withdraw investment, to put it bluntly, means giving shares to others in order to damage his business. He also didn't believe that they were willing to give up the Fang family of Yuncheng, the hen that laid golden eggs. Although the company's market value is not high, it is not easy to bring it down through equity. He stood there with a scowl on his face. However, he was thinking about how to buy back some shares from the secondary market to ensure his position as the actual controller. Fang Junyi stared at him for nearly 10 seconds before nodding slightly. It seems that this is your bottom line. Okay. Haven't had breakfast yet? Come eat something together and then come with me to Zhao's house. How could it be possible to pass so easily? Fang Junhong felt alarmed, but observing his elder brother's expression, it didn't seem fake. Good. He agreed calmly. Although I don't know what Big Brother is up to, it doesn't matter. Stick to your bottom line and don't give in. The worst that can happen is that you end up breaking up. By then, Zhao Wei won't get any benefits. As for a lion and her son, he has made preparations and can ensure they're living in Country M for at least the next 10 years. After dinner, the two got in the car. Sitting in the back row, there was no conversation between the two. Fang Junyi seemed to be confident, but also seemed to be bluffing. When you can't control me, what else can you do? Fang Junhong leaned back in his seat with his eyes closed, while Fang Junyi opened his tablet and started reading today's news. The two brothers didn't say a word. Chapter 57, You have a really good appetite. Fang Junyi didn't expect that Zhao Yuanlong had arranged for the housekeeper to wait at the gate of the yard early in the morning. This is an area close to the suburbs in the west of the capital. It was a large manor that looked very low-key, but its aura could not be concealed at all. Butler Liu, good morning. As soon as Fang Junyi got off the car, he greeted an old man standing there with a smile. Butler Liu has been working in the Zhao family for at least 30 years. This Butler Liu had been in the Zhao family since they first met. Hello, Mr. Fang. Mr. Zhao is waiting for you in the yard. This must be the second uncle. Please come in. Butler Liu is very polite. He bowed slightly, and neither of them could say anything. Fang Junyi extended his hand and said, Thank you, Butler Liu. Fang Junhong asked softly, Is Zhao Wei here too? Butler Liu kept smiling and said, The second miss is here too, but she's not in the courtyard. She's inside talking to the first lady. Fang Junyi didn't stop or look back. He followed Butler Liu into the yard. Fang Junhong quickened his pace to catch up. Soon after passing through the second courtyard, Butler Liu turned right, passed through an archway, and entered a small courtyard. The yard was full of flowers of various colors, and a figure was watering the flowers with a watering can. Fang Junhong looked over carefully and saw that it was Zhao Wei's elder brother, Zhao Yuanlong. Coming, Zhao Yuanlong is tall and has a long body. Although he is almost 60 years old, he looks about the same as Fang Junyi. It can be seen that it is true that if one holds a high position and cultivates his mind and character on a daily basis, one can prolong his life. Although he is the current head of the Zhao family, he actually basically doesn't care about business matters. Most of the decision-making has been handed over to his sons. As for my daughter, well, she's basically useless except for marriage arrangements. Fang Junyi laughed out loud and said, "Brother Yuanlong, you look much better than yesterday. Oh, I really envy you. Taking care of flowers and plants is indeed the best way to cultivate one's mind and character, he. Zhao Yuanlong put down the spray bottle in his hand, waved his hand and said with a smile, "Just nothing to do. Junhong, I haven't seen you for many years." Fang Junhong took a few steps forward and extended his hand. "Brother, it's been a while since we last met. You are still the same as before, nothing has changed." Zhao Yuanlong shook his hand and then let go and said, "Come with me." Butler Liu quietly left the small courtyard and closed the gate behind him. This is actually where Zhao Yuanlong works. Normally, the servants in the house are not allowed to enter without his permission. Even the study was cleaned by the lady herself. After entering the room, the study is on the left, and there should be a small bedroom on the right. In the middle is what we usually call the small main room. There is a coffee table between several sofas. "Please take a seat." After Zhao Yuanlong sat down, he started to make tea. Making Kung Fu tea is a compulsory course for every rich family's son, and it is quite an honor for him to do it himself. After the Fang brothers sat down separately, Zhao Yuanlong spoke. People like them are relatively tactful in conversations among in-laws, even when asking for benefits. "It's not that aggressive. Junhong, what you did was not fair." Fang Junhong nodded without saying anything. Fang Junyi smiled and said, "I've already talked about him this morning. Brother Zhao, just tell me your request directly. I can do it, I won't hesitate." "Is this what you mean, or has Junhong also agreed?" Zhao Yuanlong lit the incense slowly. A faint scent of sandalwood began to slowly spread. Fang Junhong took a breath, looked up at Zhao Yuanlong and said, "Brother, I was wrong in this matter, and I am willing to pay compensation. However, Qin Balian and Hongjun are innocent. It's all my fault. If you have any requests, just tell me directly." Zhao Yuanlong smiled and said, "Oh, do I need to show you the evidence?" After saying that just now, Fang Junyi planned to wait and see how Fang Junhong would respond. Fang Junhong shook his head and said, "That's not necessary. Since you already know it, I have nothing to say." "Okay." Zhao Yuanlong picked up the tongs and started to pour the soup, still without any impatience. "Junhong, Zhao Wei has been married to you for almost 30 years. If I remember correctly, it should be 29 years. I still remember the light in Zhao Wei's eyes when she saw you when you came to my house that year. She is almost 50 now. I gave birth to 4 daughters and 1 son for you. And you." Fang Junhong knew that this was Zhao Yuanlong's preparation. "It's nothing, just a preparation to ask for benefits." He lowered his head slightly, as if he was recalling the day when he first met the shy Zhao Wei when he was young. "There's nothing wrong with having a bastard. There's nothing shameful about it. Who hasn't done a few stupid things when they were young? But you brought the bastard back to my sister. Not only did you ask her to help raise you, but you also cut off all ties with him after finding her biological son. Junhong, you are writing on the face of my Zhao family. What's even more outrageous is that your illegitimate son, Fang Hongjun, used some tricks to win the favor and affection of your entire family. But what about my dear nephew? What have you guys forced me into? Tell me, how is my nephew worse than your illegitimate son? The top student in science in Yunnan province graduated from a very ordinary high school where you are. Your illegitimate son is studying in the best middle school in your area, right? How many points did he get in the exam?" Fang Junhong still said nothing. He watched his elder brother-in-law making tea, and he actually found it quite pleasing to the eye. As for what his brother-in-law said, he didn't take it to heart at all. The picture is not exhaustive. "Come have some tea." Zhao Yuanlong poured a cup of tea for each of them, picked it up, took a sip and put it down. "My request is simple. First, compensation from the Zhao family. Second, Zhao Wei's compensation. Third, how to deal with the illegitimate child. Do you agree with me?" His eyes were fixed on Fang Junhong, observing his micro-expressions. Fang Junyi just thought he was here to drink tea, so he said nothing and took a sip of the tea. Oolong delicious. Fang Junhong also picked up the tea and took a sip, then said, "No problem, big brother, please continue, I'm listening." "Well, brother Fang, I want the 2 plots of land that the Fang family owns in Bincheng. This is the compensation that the Fang family owns for my Zhao family." Zhao Yunlong spoke as he poured tea for Fang Junyi. "My sister has the shares of the Fang family in Yuncheng. Give her 5 points personally. Just consider it as compensation for the hard work of raising your illegitimate child for 18 years. As for your illegitimate son and Qin Balian, they will go abroad within a week. Don't ever come back. What do you think?" Fang Junyi chuckled and shook his head, saying, "Brother Zhao, you really have a good appetite. One piece, otherwise there is no need to talk. You can do whatever you want, I won't care." Zhao Yuanlong ignored him and stared at Fang Junhong and asked, "What did you say?" Chapter 58, if you have something to do, please hurry up, okay? Fang Junhong raised his eyes and stared into his brother-in-law's eyes and said, 5% is impossible, otherwise the company would not be mine. Look at the Fang family's land in Bincheng. I will also compensate them. Therefore, I don't care about your discussion. As for Zhao Wei, you can just have someone sign for the 1% of shares later. As for the rest, I won't give it to you." Fang Junyi glanced at him but said nothing. Fang Junhong stared at Zhao Yuanlong and continued, "I know that without your help and my elder brother, I would not have been able to get up in Cloud City. Putting aside the investment and the returns you have received over the years, it has really been a great help to me. But I would not agree to give up control of the company. Otherwise, it would be better to just divorce and mortgage my shares to give her cash." Zhao Yuanlong narrowed his eyes slightly and looked at his brother-in-law. Fang Junhong looks like a man in his 40s and appears to be a very qualified businessman. Whether it is the momentum or the attitude, there is basically nothing wrong with it. Of course, if you consider the context of the entire incident, this is a bit excessive. Of course, he also knew that what Fang Junhong would finally take out was definitely more than 1%. The value of those 2 plots of land is almost 1%. If you take into account future profits, it will be more than that. Of course, this is also the compensation he should make to Fang Junyi. After a brief pause, Zhao Yuanlong looked at Fang Junyi and said, "Brother Fang, is this what you told me yesterday?" Fang Junyi smiled and shook his head, saying, "Brother Zhao, I can still give you 1 piece of land if I grit my teeth. 2 pieces is indeed too much." He looked at his second brother again. "As for Junhong, you know that not only Zhao Wei, but also the family, all the money is paid by him. So I think 1% is appropriate. After all, if you take out this 1 point, the annual return will be quite considerable. At least I think a long-term stable income is enough to compensate my brother and sister-in-law for the emotional betrayal they have endured for the past 18 years, as well as the emotional investment they have made in raising that bastard. Of course, if you, brother Zhao, are still not satisfied, you can do whatever you want with Qin Balian and that bastard. But there is only 1 piece of land. How about calling your sister-in-law out and asking for her opinion? After all, it's compensation for her, right?" Fang Ping'an had no idea what was happening in the capital, but he already knew what would happen from Fang Jinglei. "I also want to know what price Fang Junhong, this wild dad-like guy, will pay. It's just that he has no source. Fang Jinglei should be able to provide him with information, but he didn't want the Fang family to think that he was soft-hearted. In other words, wanting to continue to maintain some kind of relationship with them. So now he is actually feeling a little anxious. According to his guess and what he saw and heard in his previous life, Fang Hongjun and Qin Balian were definitely going abroad. But the problem is that they were going to study abroad anyway, so this is not a punishment for them at all. Now Fang Hongjun is lying in the hospital. Although he feels happy, he also knows that what he did at that time was extremely risky and there are great hidden dangers. He is still one of the police surveillance personnel and is required to answer the police station's calls at any time. If Fang Hongjun died, there would be no threat to him in the future. But now that someone is dead, the police will never let it go easily. Then I will definitely not be able to escape. I want that guy to die, but I'm also worried that he's dead. This is a very depressing thing. I still remember that he was in the internet cafe that night and cried out of fear. He thought about it for a long time and still couldn't decide whether to take the initiative to contact Fang Jinglei. In the end, he decided to wait for Fang Jinglei to tell him herself. Anyway, this second sister should really regret it now, so there is no need for me to take the initiative to get some information from her. Thinking of this, I felt much better. It's time to continue practicing driving and bring a pack of Huazi with you every day. When I arrived at the driving school, I bought another bottle of water for the instructor, and the day passed happily. He had no idea that in the capital, although the head of the Zhao family continued to observe his thoughts, he could not take him seriously at all. But the Fang family had no such idea at all. Neither the head of the family Fang Junyi, nor the adulterous father Fang Junheng had this idea. Only 4 days had passed from the night Fang Jinglei came to see him to the second time. She blocked him at the gate of the community early in the morning. Peace, peace. When Fang Pingyan saw Fang Jinglei at the gate of the community, he also saw Zhao Wei and Fang Qingyan. Fang Zhidi, who had never been kind to him, was also there. He raised his hand to check the time. It was just after 8 in the morning. He had just finished breakfast and was preparing to take the bus to driving school. Zhao Wei seems to be in good spirits. Fang Zhidi still looked at him with displeasure. To him, the other party was also extremely unpleasant. Such a stupid existence is totally insignificant. It's just that Ms. Zhao seemed a little relaxed, which made Fang Pingyan feel a little incredible, but then he understood. As for wealthy families, matters of illegitimate children are generally resolved quietly and never reported in the media. It's a pity that he has to check the news several times a day, and even searched for the keywords Fang Junheng and Fang Hongjun. Nothing at all. This shows that the price paid by the wild father Fang Junheng was not small, so much so that Zhao Wei or the Zhao family did not make this scandal public. At least Ms. Zhao should be satisfied, or rather the Zhao family should be satisfied. Fang Pingyan figured it out in 2 seconds. These are what I learned when I followed Fang Hongjun. When wealthy families do things, they don't look at the process but only the results. Interests first, face second, family third. Looking at the 4 people coming towards him, he pointed in another direction. After walking 20 or 30 meters, he stood there waiting. Zhao Wei is not young, but she moves at a very fast pace. 3 beauties with different styles followed her. Soon, Fang Pingyan found himself surrounded by them. Safety. Zhao Wei was obviously a little excited, and her lips were trembling slightly. Pingyan, I apologize to you. I am sorry for you, it's all my fault. Fang Pingyan's expression remained unchanged, and he asked calmly, "What, did you confront Mr. Fang or get a divorce?" Fang Qingyan and Fang Jinglei remained silent, while Fang Zhidi, whom he hated the most, raised her eyebrows and scolded. "Fang Pingyan, how do you talk to Mom?" Looking at her expression, it seems that she is about to say the classic phrase, uneducated thing, again. Fang Pingyan quickly reached out and said, "Stop. Let me be clear, my mother's name is Liu Qing, and this Ms. Zhao is your mother, not mine." Fang Zhidi immediately became furious and pointed at Fang Pingyan and was about to curse him, but was stopped by Fang Qingyan. "Shut up and don't forget what we are here for." Fang Zhidi choked and closed her mouth, but her eyes still looked like she wanted to eat someone. Fang Pingyan glanced at Zhao Wei, whose eyes were red, and took a step back and asked, "Ms. Zhao, what do you want to talk to me about? I also need to learn to drive. If you have something to tell me, please hurry up, okay?" Chapter 59, You are not qualified to be my bond. Fang Jinglei took a step forward. "Pingyan, your parents are not divorced, but I have prepared a house and a car for you in Beijing. Aren't you going to Beijing to go to university? I can live with my mom." "Yes, Pingyan, Mom has prepared everything for you. Can you forgive me this time?" Zhao Wei stammered. "Everything is up to you, Pingyan, as long as you are willing to forgive Mom. Mom will definitely treat you well, and will never let you suffer any injustice again." "Okay." Fang Pingyan looked at Zhao Wei, who used to boss him around, and now looked a little humble. What came to his mind were the 4 years of extremely humble years he had spent in the Fang family. In order to get the mother in front of him to look at him more, he rushed to clean the house, the garden, and the swimming pool. In order not to provoke Fang Hongjun and thus make her angry, he always took the initiative to give in to Fang Hongjun. This also makes all of them think that they are cowards and useless wastes. All he wanted was the warmth between blood relatives. However, in 4 years, he did so much but didn't even get a glance. "I am so humble." Now looking at her like this, he felt inexplicably annoyed. "Ms. Zhao, do you want me to forgive you? And are you all here to beg for my forgiveness?" Seeing Fang Zhidi's reluctance, Fang Pingyan smiled and continued. "I still don't understand. If you don't like me, why did you take me away from my adoptive parents who loved me? Whether it is for the Fang family's reputation or there are other conflicts of interest, I don't care. When I cared about you, you ignored me. When I long for family affection, all you give me is indifference. I did so much just to make you look at me more. But you won't even look at me. All your attention is on my half-brother. When I was extremely humble, you never cared. Hee hee. Now our relationship seems to be reversed. Now you're asking for my forgiveness, haha, how ironic. A look of shame appeared on Zhao Wei's face, while Fang Qingyan and Fang Jinglei had embarrassed expressions. What Fang Pingyan found ridiculous was that Fang Jidi actually looked angry. Fang Pingyan, don't go too far. I tell you, even if I come to apologize to you, it doesn't mean you can humiliate me at will. Fang Pingyan laughed and said, humiliate you? Do you think I'm humiliating you? Okay, whatever you think. As for apologizing to me, there's actually no need. The grievances and discrimination I suffered in your family, whether it is being ignored, wronged, or slandered. We were even the moment I left the Fang family. From then on, we returned to being strangers. I don't know you, and you'd better pretend that I don't exist. Can't we save some face for each other? Fang Jinglei said, be safe. Qin Balian and Fang Hongzhen will go abroad soon and never come back. Fang Jidi interrupted and asked, by the way, were you the one who beat Fang Hongzhen like that? I told you that you are not a good person. Woo-woo. Fang Qingyan covered her mouth awkwardly and dragged her to the back. She hasn't said a word since we met. Fang Pingyan looked at Fang Jinglei with a strange expression on his face. Does this have anything to do with me? I have never lied to you. The one who deceived you was your father, Fang Hongzhen. None of this has anything to do with me, and I am not interested. Shrugging, he added, the only thing that matters to me is that I have endured 4 years of disregard and slander because of their relationship. Zhao Wei suddenly reached out and grabbed his arm. Ping En, Mom will compensate you for everything you lost. You please don't deny me as your mother, okay? I know I was wrong. I really know I was wrong. Can you give me a chance to make it up to you and be a good mother again? Fang Pingyan glanced at her tears, then looked at the faces of his 3 sisters one by one. There are conflicted expressions, guilt, and resentment. He gently broke free from Zhao Wei's hand. I'm sorry, Ms. Zhao, I'm no longer your son. From the moment your whole family chose Fang Hongzhen, I was no longer your son. Although I was born by you, you are my biological mother. But the grace of giving birth is far less than the grace of raising a child. My mother's name is Liu Qing. My father's name is Chen Xiaohua. Out of gratitude to you for giving birth to me, I have no plans to change my last name for the time being. Your only son now is Fang Hongzhen. Even though he is an illegitimate child, hasn't he always been the apple of your family's eye? You have been calling him son for 18 years. I am just peace in your presence. From the time you took me back to Fang's house to the time I left, you only called me son twice. All on the day I first met me. You have created the cause, so it is best for you to bear the consequences. In my eyes, you are not even as good as a stranger. I still have to learn how to drive. Bye. After saying that, he turned and left. There was a bus stop in front of him which could save some time. Fang Jidi cursed loudly from behind. Fang Pingyan, you ungrateful bastard. You have been in the Fang family for 4 years. Doesn't that count as the Fang family raising you for 4 years? Don't forget that the blood of the Fang family flows in your veins. You can never deny that. Fang Pingyan stopped and turned around. So what? It was you who didn't want me. Now it's me who doesn't want you. We are all the same, and no one is nobler than anyone else. My Fang Pingyan's parents in this life are Chen Xiaohua and Liu Qing. If you have the guts, go sue me, Lawyer Fang. You can already see bus number 704. He ran towards the bus stop. Behind her, Zhao Wei raised her hand to cover her mouth. Fang Jinglei quickly stepped forward to support her and comforted her softly. Even though she didn't know how to comfort her, Fang Jidi and Fang Qingyan were arguing with each other and were very dissatisfied with the other party's safe departure. How dare he do this to Mom? How dare you treat us like this? I said he was an ungrateful person with no manners at all. I was really blind to find him back then. Sister, you too, why didn't you scold him just now? Fang Qingyan looked at Fang Pingyan's back, loosened her hand, and sighed deeply. When facing Fang Pingyan again, she didn't know what to say or what to do. This younger brother may really be lost. She was partly to blame for this. She knows, but she was unwilling to admit in front of Fang Jidi how wrong she was. Forget it, Xiaodi. You and your second sister please take care of Mom. Dad and Hongzhen went abroad, and I had to go back to the company to work. The company cannot fail, nor can it be left without someone in charge. 3 steps away, Zhao Wei finally burst into tears. Her eyes were fixed on Fang Pingyan's figure. It's a pity that Fang Pingyan didn't look over again. She stared blankly at the figure getting on the bus and disappearing from her sight. Fang Ping'an did not hear Zhao Wei's suppressed crying. I just glanced at them when the bus passed by and then paid no more attention to them. The encounter just now made him feel not very good. Do you really not care about the cold stares you received in the past? How could that be? He is also a flesh and blood person, a person who longs for family affection. When he first found out that the people coming to his house were his biological parents, he was also very excited. I was once like all those who have just entered a wealthy family, who doesn't like fine clothes and delicious food. Although his adoptive parents had never treated him badly, he didn't want a life of luxury. What I want most is the kinship that comes from blood. But he paid so much and even lost his life in the end. What did you get in return? In the warehouse, I lost a thumb, and the blood on my thigh couldn't be stopped. What are they doing? 5 people surrounded Fang Hongjian, who had done nothing wrong. Even if only one person came to take care of me, I would not end up dying from excessive blood loss. Did anyone watch the light in his eyes slowly die? No one even paid attention to the process of his death. At that time, who knows the fear of death, the despair for loved ones, that feeling? They deserve all this. Since you've chosen that bastard Fang Hongjian, just bear with it. You are not qualified to be my shackles. Chapter 60. Do you know how much I regretted it at that time? Zhao Wei really didn't plan to stay in Yuncheng. If for no other reason, it's because Fang Ping'an will go to Beijing to study in September. Although she was sad that her own son did not recognize her, she did not feel any resentment towards him. There is only regret and sadness. If you think about it carefully, Ping'an had gotten angry so many times, and every time it was because of that bastard. Thinking about it now, Fang Hongjian's face was so disgusting to her. What was once thought to be obedience has now turned into a malicious deception, just to prevent her from focusing her attention on Fang Ping'an. 2. She has been raising Fang Hongjian personally since he was a child. It's not that there is no nanny at home, but before the little one went to kindergarten, she never asked the nanny to do it for her and did everything herself. Watch the little baby laugh, watch him cry, watch him stagger towards me and then stumble into my arms. The feeling of happiness and satisfaction made her almost forget that she had lost her own son. I couldn't help but pour all my emotions into it. This is the most fundamental reason why she is extremely partial to Fang Hongjian. Ever since Fang Ping'an returned home, she always felt that this child was out of tune with the family. There is no joy of regaining what is lost. Some are just all kinds of things that are unpleasant to the eye. After Fang Ping'an came back, the first thing she thought of was not that her son had returned. Fang Hongjian is so sensitive and well-behaved. Fang Ping'an looked at himself and his family with those bright eyes again. She was worried that Fang Hongjian would be hurt. Whenever Hongjian said that Ping'an bullied him, she had no other thoughts except to blindly believe him and comfort him immediately. Zhao Wei sat on the sofa and watched Fang Jinglei help pack her luggage. Before she knew it, she realized she had so many clothes and luggage. There is an entire room just for clothes and shoes. It would be unrealistic to take everything away. I could only pick some myself. After she finished her work and looked at the huge suitcases, she suddenly remembered that when she left Ping'an, she only carried a school bag. Her nose felt sore and she wanted to cry again. Fang Jinglei walked over and sat next to her. "Mom, have you been to Ping'an's room?" Zhao Wei was stunned. "Yes, it's been 4 years since my son came back, but I don't think I've ever been to his room. I'm not too sure whether he lives well or not." She shook her head with tears in her eyes. Fang Jinglei sighed. He doesn't have so many clothes and shoes. Even a simple wardrobe couldn't hold all his things. He did not take away the clothes and shoes that were given to him when he first arrived. When Ping'an left, he took nothing with him. She handed something over. Zhao Wei took it in her hand and looked at it carefully. Tears flowed like a spring. "This is what I saw in his room after he left," Fang Jinglei said faintly, "but his name is not on it. He tore it off himself." "Wow, Lele, do you also feel, wow, that mom is a bad person?" "No, Mom," Fang Jinglei shook her head. "You are the best mom. It's just that you, like us, don't consider Ping'an as your own. In your eyes, we sisters and Fang Hongjian are all your children. Except for Peace." She sat cross-legged on the sofa, resting her chin on her hand. "Mom, I thought about it carefully later. Ping'an did nothing wrong, we were just too harsh on him. No matter how sad or regretful we are now, Ping'an is right. In the past, we didn't want him. Now he doesn't want us." Zhao Wei's eyes were filled with tears, and she wasted tissue paper. "I should be the first one to regret it, but till now, he still hasn't forgiven me. He said it once, but in fact in his eyes I am really worse than a stranger. Fang Jinglei pointed at the photo. This photo is probably the only thing he left behind. However, he tore himself off, tore it into pieces, and threw it in the trash can. He did not take away any gifts given to him by anyone in the family. Later, I packed it up and sent it to his school, but he left it in the security room. He doesn't want anything anymore. Mom, do you know how much I regretted it at that time? All the luggage in his room couldn't be packed into a 20-inch suitcase. The mother and daughter sat on the sofa in silence for a long time. Suddenly, Fang Jinglei spoke again. Mom, Pingan told us about Qin Balian and Fang Hongzhen. Zhao Wei. The night he left home, he said something specifically to you, saying that Hongzhen is just your adopted son. What he meant was that Hongzhen was not my father's adopted son. When he told me this, my eldest sister was there too. That's why what happened next. Zhao Wei stared blankly at the incomplete family portrait in her hand, and suddenly tore it into pieces with force. Then he covered his face and cried. The biological son had known about the illegitimate child for a long time, but in order not to embarrass his parents, he actually endured it for such a long time. In order to let me look at him more and care about him a little more, he endured so much grievance, but never said a word. After all, he said it when he was most desperate and had let go of all his family ties. Even so, he still reminded himself in such an obscure way for the sake of his and Fang Junhong's relationship. But at that time, I was busy comforting that bastard. Zhao Wei just felt that her heart was broken into hundreds of thousands of pieces. Fang Jinglei did not comfort her, nor did she cry with her. She just sat there feeling sad. After Fang Jidi returned home, she packed up and went to report to the law firm. Apart from the mother and daughter, the servants in the house did not dare to get involved in these matters. Lele, mommy regrets it so much, woo-woo. Zhao Wei's crying voice echoed in the quiet Fang family villa. Knowing that Fang Hongzhen had gone abroad, Fang Pingan felt relieved. He had a cerebral hemorrhage, so why didn't he die? I really hope that guy dies on an operating table abroad. Then he will be completely fine. But this is just thought. If I really died, Fang Junhong and Qin Balian would not let me go. As long as that guy is not dead, I should be safe for a short time. Qin Balian has to take care of that guy, while Fang Junhong is busy dealing with the Zhao family. So it's right to practice driving. As for the rest, we'll talk about it later when we have the chance. 1 pack of Huazi a day. Iced drinks to keep you full. The coach was very satisfied with Fang Pingan. Although he was given many small tasks, he almost never scolded him. Of course, Fang Pingan also learned very quickly. With the guidance of a coach, he has more opportunities to learn driving than any other student. The day for the driver's license test is coming soon. Among the students of the same period, he was the only one who brought a pack of Huazi to his coach every day. This made the coach look at him with admiration, and he didn't let him do anything during the computer-based test. Even during the road test, he was allowed to sign up for a makeup test and then got his driver's license. He has not decided to buy a car yet and will wait until he arrives in Beijing. Chen Xiuhui's final exam performance was a little disappointing. Although the ranking was fine and I was still in the top 10 in the grade, my scores were not so satisfactory. Even though the girl was shouting that this year's questions were extremely difficult, Liu Qing was still a little unhappy. After being well-behaved at home for 7 or 8 days, the girl became unwell again. It is absolutely not possible to not let people go out. She also asked her little sisters to go out and play together and eat delicious food together. Fang Pingan transferred 2,000 yuan to her and asked her to spend it frugally. The most important thing is, if you have spent all the money or have no more, you can just ask him for it. These words made Chen Xiuhui jump for joy. Looking at the energetic and cheerful girl, he also felt very happy.